Now, broadcasting from deep within your stepmom's basement, it's the Plex podcast.
In this world, cesspool of kindness and ethical blindness. So please excuse my sarcastic tone. I'm a bit underwhelmed by the sample shown. Mr. Bistro fraternity guy, you got my asshole bloodshot eyes. Get drunk and fight every night. Idolize Bradley, belittle women's rights. Homophobic, racist, and don't give a fucking hey. Do you think you can drive a bigger truck? So wear your baseball cap to decide to let everyone know that you're a nice guy. So girl was so impressed. Lots of chicks in a barrel chest. Cause you're a real man. Punch for punch, gonna piss in your face while you're passed out drunk. I'm a nice guy. You're a nice guy. He's a nice guy. But all of you are assholes. I'm a nice guy. You're a nice guy. She's a nice guy. But all of you are assholes. Nice guys rule the planets. I just can't understand it. But could divine by deception and lies. Social Darwinism and an overdose of pride. Fuck off, jerk off. I don't wanna hear it. Fuck off, jerk off. Read into the lyrics. Cause everybody gets their just desserts. As long as you remember that nice guys finished. You're next on the list. Such a nice guy who speaks through his fists. Prick with a penchant for messing with heads. A broken nose for dinner and breakfast in bed. Alcoholic, paranoid, and suicidal too. But you'll probably kill her before she gets away from you. Screws in a pool of blood and cry. All your friends say that you're a nice guy. Have a drink. This one's on me. Look, you're doing fine. Losing to your disease. Comatose. I'll pack your bags. Bury you like cats ready to go. I'm a nice guy, you're a nice guy, we're all nice guys, but all of you are assholes. He's a nice guy, she's a nice guy, hey, Tom Bo's a nice guy, all of you are assholes. Nice guys, rule the planet, the podcast, put a body by deception and lies. Social Darwinism and an overdose of pride. Fuck off, jerk off, I don't wanna hear it. Fuck off, jerk off, read into the lyrics. Don't let the fucking pill quench your thirst. As long as you remember that nice guys finish first.
Hey everybody, welcome live viewers, welcome podcast listeners. This is episode 400 of the Plex. You can find this on all your favorite podcatchers. This show's live every Sunday, 7 p.m. Pacific, right here on Twitch, twitch.tv/EchoPlexMedia. You can support this project many ways. Go to echoplexmedia.com, click that support tab, support link, I suppose. The best way is through merch or memberships via Fourth Wall at eplex.store. I'm producer Dave. You can find me on Grindr.
I'm the Media Wench. You can find me here randomly, and tonight on episode 400 of the Plex. Thanks for the folks that tuned in earlier today for my random Sunday morning stream. Fuck 400 episodes. Holy shit.
There's a thing you're supposed to say.
Oh, fucking, yeah, give the people what they want. Jesus Christ, please.
I don't hate the cops. There's a person inside when the truncheon stops. Donate the cops. When the raiders come, who will protect the shops? Donate the cops. They're a sensitive bunch if you don't stop throwing your rocks. Snap, crackle, pop is the sound of a taser. Your body drops. Donate the cops. Donate the cops. Donate the cops. Donate the cops. Like your local police. Cause they don't do nothing wrong like your local police. Got rid of the corruption and the racism is gone. They've been keeping the peace, keeping homeless folks out of the parks and malls. Got a cure for your social disease. Follow the law, don't hate the cops. 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 Put your hands above your head and show you're not afraid. I'm the fairest judge that your skin color's gonna get. And if you die before the sun comes up, the paperwork will take forever. Well, it might have worked out a little bit better if you didn't hate the cops. Cause they don't do nothing wrong. Donate the cops. You can't blame them for just doing their job. Donate the cops. Well, you gotta wonder, how much would it cost for you to be shot at and stabbed at by maniacs and drunks? Donate the cops. 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 Donate the cops.
All right. Well, we're going to do the news, I guess. Well, not really. I mean, some version of the news. They had a comedy for Kamala, and I heard that it was kind of whack, but there was one funny part. So luckily for us, other people watched Comedy for Kamala. And so we didn't have to watch the whole fucking thing. I guess here's the only funny. Yeah, somebody in chat, Lulu Brew, is like, wasn't great. Well, here was the one good part. So that's why you watch this show. If something like that happens, you get the one good part.
Maybe if we did like a little mini roast of JD Vance, you and me, Rep Swalwell. So I reached out to the best joke writers I know, current and former SNL Weekend Update writers, Katie Rich, Josh Patton, and Pete Schultz. So if you're still game to do this with me.
You're asking me to be like a poor man's Colin Jost?
Sure. Yeah.
No, Cecily, it's perfect because I have a job where I don't have to answer to the people who hired me like every 2 years. So I pretty much can say anything, I guess.
And this is fun because it's great doing jokes when you can't hear laughs.
Yeah.
It feels very good. But that's okay. All right, are you ready?
I will laugh for you.
Okay, thank you for that. All right, here we go. All right, JD Vance. JD Vance looks like a composite of every guy that's called you a bitch on Bumble.
JD Vance looks like you told Chat GPT to draw a guy who says, "M'lady." What are we doing?
I thought it was good. JD Vance is confusing because his rhetoric wants us to panic about immigrants, but his eyeliner wants us to panic at the disco. JD Vance has been such a mistake. Trump keeps calling him Eric.
Oh, no. His son, Eric, not me.
That's his son. Not you. No.
Could be.
He doesn't know you.
I'm not surprised JD Vance is so anti-choice, since having no other option is the only reason he's Trump's running mate.
Trump wearing a maxi pad on his ear is the most support he has ever shown for women's reproductive health. There's speculation that Trump is unhappy with Vance and is thinking about getting rid of him. But he better hurry because it's been 6 weeks.
Hack. That was hack.
Everyone who's
JD Vance has
thinking about those deadlines.
JD Vance has some very strange and upsetting positions, honestly. Just ask his couch.
Aw.
And you wouldn't do this one, so I'm going to do it.
I'm not doing that.
JD claims to be the voice of the Rust Belt, which is only true if we are talking about his belt after he fucks an orange couch.
Oh my God.
Didn't want to do that one for some reason.
No.
It's pretty good. I don't understand the couch thing.
Don't worry about it. It seems like some, I don't know. There's claims going around that in his book, his first draft of his book, he talked about how him and all his friends fucked a couch.
Did it give consent?
I don't know. I don't think that shit's that funny. But the Panic at the Disco one was
really funny.
That was really good. But then now you don't have to watch that fucking atrocious thing where they did it on Zoom. The other thing I heard is that everybody's audio was kind of hot garbage. So it sort of probably reminded people of the bad old days of the pandemic.
That's Scott Baio.
It is Scott Baio.
No, God, he looks like he got hit by a truck. What the fuck? Baio.
So I think they should have invited Scott Baio to the fucking comic thing.
You see that they raised $500,000 where even though with all the bad jokes, they still raised $500,000.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So here is Scott Baio's take on the roast. Oh God!
Maybe that's our problem. Why we can't raise that money like that? It's because we got good jokes,
right? And of course, it's got to be on fucking Waters' show, right?
Getting Waters, bitch.
If they do debate, how do you think Trump should handle her?
Okay. I love Trump. I hope he wins because I believe in the simple things in our country. Trump and I'm gonna parrot you, Jesse. Policy. That's it.
You want to fucking listen to Scott Baio about political policy? He looks like somebody be like, "Hey, you want to come and get some popsicles? They're in my basement." That's like that's.
He looks like skinny, uncool Bruce Campbell at this point in his life.
Oh fuck yeah, he does.
When he gives his speeches at these rallies, policy, period. Once he goes off the rails, it becomes confusing, and I wish I could talk to him and say, just stick to policy.
No, the problem is that there's no policy. There's just.
It's probably easy to confuse Scott Baio.
Yeah, true.
Every policy that's out there, you own every issue, and he knows that, but he's got to just stick to that.
I thought they were going to talk about the comedy thing.
If Trump was going to stick to policy, then his fucking rallies would be really short.
Right. I think you should just say awkward things about his daughter. That's what won it for him in 2026.
Former first lady?
Yeah.
Former first lady, Ivanka Trump.
Or as I say it on Facebook, R-A-R-E fist lady. And people sometimes don't even catch what I'm saying. They sometimes just don't even catch it. They're like, "Oh yeah," and then they eventually figure out that. Wait a minute, that. Anyway, do you know Jesse Waters' mom is part of K-Hive now?
What?
Jesse Waters' mom, beloved Kamala.
Oh, good for her.
Here, I don't usually run 12-second clips, but anytime it's Jesse Waters talking about his mom, I'll run a clip.
It's about as much as you can stand of Jesse Waters anyway. If it's just him talking.
Kamala is not Joe Biden. And yes, Kamala's a woman. And there's excitement around that. You should see my mom. Suddenly she's a Kamala fanatic. Keeps talking about joy. Trump.
Maybe she's been a Kamala fanatic this whole time. And now she's like finally, secure in the fact that you're not going to jump up in her face and go, "Oh, but I'm Waters, bitch," and fucking get all like aggro.
So there's actually kind of lore. One time he was taking calls and his mother called. It was quite some time ago, but it was really good. She was like telling him, she's like, you should maybe try different sources for your material and make sure that everything you're saying on your show is true, because sometimes it seems like you're saying things on here to people that are not true and it misleads your audience. It was very funny. It was very funny. What's not going to be very funny is this clip of Charlie Kirk.
This economic crisis is a national security issue. Over $1 trillion a year in interest payments alone. And the current kleptocrats of Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and Kamala Harris and Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren and Cory Booker, they could not care less about the damage that's being done to the country because it is the Cloward Piven strategy. Kamala Harris wants to see the elimination of the United States of America. The Cloward Piven strategy is we are communists, number one.
What's the Cloward Piven? What the fuck? Who the fuck are Cloward? Remember they keep bringing up all these kind of like bizarre sort of esoteric fucking random people that we're supposed to be afraid of. Like, do you remember when they were all freaking out about Saul Alinsky?
Yeah.
And then it was like right towards the end of the Daily Show, and Jon Stewart ran a bunch of clips of them doing it, and then he just looked right into the camera and goes, "Who is Saul Alinsky?"
Also, can't get over like the eagle on his fucking bookshelf back there. Looks like it's going like this.
It is. It's making fun of him. When Charlie looks at it, it becomes a majestic eagle again.
It's all. And in between times, it's all nah.
Number two, we are going to do things to destroy the country. And we do that by mass inflation and mass migration. Mass inflation and mass migration. Ruin the dollar, open the borders. Ruin the dollar, open the borders. And that's what you're seeing on a daily basis.
Sounds like an Antifa chant, right? Mass inflation, mass migration, mass inflation,
mass migration.
Like a chant at a fucking protest. Charlie, you should be messaging for the other side.
Elect Kamala, ruin the dollar.
That sounds more like what, I don't know, maybe Charlie had a writer. Ooh. Speaking of, since we're on weirdos that usually show up towards the end of the docket, here's a friend of the show, Tiny Dancer, Ben Shapiro.
That was Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, he's you know, he's experiencing twink death right now. He's gonna have to accept it. He apparently saw a Kamala Harris and Tim Walz rally, and I guess he didn't like it.
Is he growing a porn stash?
I know he's trying to grow a little stubble, so instead of looking like a real boy, he can be a man.
It looks like he's like, it's probably just the way the video is, but it looks like he's growing a porn stash. Sorry.
That's okay.
He was a high school football coach, and don't you know, he's a teacher and a high school football. He's basically Mr. Feeney, but more athletic. He's like Ed Asner, avuncular, moderate, just one of the boys. You know, a guy who can crack a beer and can shoot a rifle, but is also really, really in favor of gun control and transing the kids. That's basically the pitch in favor of Tim Walz. So she does this routine. These rallies are incredibly well choreographed. I will say that. They are very well choreographed. She calls for a chant, and a chant goes up. First Democratic rally I've seen for a while where people start actually cheering USA. And why are they cheering USA? Because she says, what an amazing country this is. What an incredible country where a person like me, middle-class person, or Tim Walz, middle-class person, can become the president and vice president of the United States. Now, I agree with that. But she doesn't agree with that. She believes that America is systemically racist. So does Tim Walz. Tim Walz said...
Poor little Ben. He's totally confused. He's confused by the fact that people that he doesn't like are able to fucking hold two different thoughts in their mind at the same time. Poor little Ben.
How do you even have two thoughts in your head when you have all of that stubble?
Man, yeah, I don't know. I have many thoughts in my head right now. A lot of times on this fucking channel, they're fucking thoughts I can't say on Twitch. So.
But now I'm here. You could turn the audio off and tell me in secret, and people on Icecast.
We will. We're gonna keep moving here on this docket here. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of Pete Buttigieg, but he's kind of going out there and messaging pretty well to like the moderates. I would say like to the liberal landlord class. he's messaging pretty well. And here's him talking about them essentially saying that Tim Walz, the VP pick, is a radical leftist.
I think that's going to be the same response you'll see here. Of course, they're trying to say that he's too far left. They say that about literally any Democrat running against literally any Republican. If it was Joe Manchin, they'd be saying the same thing because it's all they know how to say. Of course, that'll be refuted, and we'll remind everybody that, if you think, making sure that everyone in Minnesota had paid family leave, as he's done, if you think that's too far left, you can go around saying that, but vast majority of Americans think that's a good idea. So yes, you can do the point by point answer. We'll do the fact checking, but I think it's going to be really important not to take the bait, because they will try to redirect the conversation toward whatever is darkest and most divisive and most out of that same old playbook that we've seen again and again and again. But you can see how tired Americans are of that playbook and how energized people are. I mean, that rally, I just caught a few minutes of it, but off the charts energy there. So you can see that Americans are ready for something different. And I think, the more the Trump campaign flails in that old, dark, divisive mode, yeah, they'll grab some attention here and there for whatever outrageous claims they make about our ticket. But I don't think a lot of it's going to stick, because none of it's true. And maybe most importantly, because I think people are just kind of bored with that sort of thing.
Dude, I watched a Trump rally earlier today, and it was like, it's so old and tired. It's like an album that was hits, but all of those hits are now old and fucking tired, and you're sick of them.
Yeah, I mean, people kind of forget too that when Trump won in 2016, he actually got trounced in the popular vote, and so this isn't going to. I don't know. The same old playbook probably isn't going to work. It might have worked against Joe Biden, but that's just because because he was, I think, too old to run, too slowed down. Whatever. He can go live out his golden years somewhere. But the people now, the Kamala and Tim Walz. Tim Walz looks like a grandpa, but he looks like a cool grandpa, right? Mm-hmm. He looks like a cool grandpa that would give you a beer and let you drive his golf cart around, Yeah,
it's private property. It's okay.
So I think Mayor Pete over there is right that this sort of stuff is just going to kind of fall flat. And it's not that it's going to, people are going to change their minds. I just think that it's not going to drive turnout the way that it has in the past. And so I think people are going to stay home. And, it is what it is. We'll see what happens. I'm still not looking forward to the election, but that's the way it goes here.
We'll be here. Yeah, he is kind of a commander grandpa type, right? If that's it, something similar to that is what I envision when I think of Commander Grandpa.
So up next, this is on, I believe, Fox's The Five. This Jessica Tarlov. She's kind of a shit lib, but at least every once in a while she sticks it to the dumb fucks on The Five. She especially likes sticking it to Waters. So here's they were saying that this guy's a far leftist, but also Fox is supposed to be this pro-business network, right? And it's he's the Tim Walz is the governor of the sixth best state to do business out of 50 in the country. So here's Jessica's take on all that.
And that Governor Walz brings a lot of experience that she wanted on the ticket, not only his time in Congress, where he was, I think, the seventh most conservative Democrat in the House, someone who is a gun owner, someone who does have those Midwestern values, but his executive experience in Minnesota. And I've seen, and Jesse just radiated some of them, the attacks on him as a socialist. I don't know what kind of socialist runs the number 6 best state in America for big business. Target is there for a reason. 3M is there for a reason. United Healthcare is there for a reason. General Mills is there for a reason. And the kinds of things that he has gotten past are exactly the kinds of things that Kamala Harris wants to talk about. Things like paid sick leave, $2.3 billion into public schools. He did a huge infrastructure bill.
Was this your top pick?
Yeah, actually it was. In the last couple of days, I was honestly happy with all 4 finalists. And if it had been Andy Bashir, Mark Kelly, Tim Walz, or Josh Shapiro, I would have been happy. But what you're going to see is the right trying to define him as Jesse did, but you're going to see that side-by-side picture of Tim Walz after he signed free school breakfast and free lunch. And someone like Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who is a star in the Republican Party, got a prime speaking spot at the RNC, signing a bill to allow kids under 16 to be able to work. That is the contrast here. A guy who wants to put food in kids' bellies and someone who wants kids to be able to work. And he's the real deal. He is what J.D. Vance wishes that he were. And
so you're questioning whether...
Oh, man, that's, I think Janine Pirro gonna go home and drink 2 boxes of wine after that episode. 5.
Carlo Rossi gonna see a spike in their sale.
Oh, she buys like, what is it, Franzia? That kind of nicer boxed wine.
The one that you can turn into a space purse.
That's right. But she don't turn it into no space purse. She ain't invited to that kind of party. Let me tell you. No. The kind of party where somebody turns that shit into space purse or even space thong. No box wine Janine there.
Nope.
Oh, here's Fox and Friends and Friends and Friends and Friends. They're also mad at Tim Walz. This is like almost half the docket of these fucking people being weird about this like totally normal fucking like centrist moderate Democrat guy. Here you go. Here's Fox and Friends.
We know what Kamala Harris's record is, and we know what his record is, and they are extremely progressive. Talk about how you're going to handle this on the campaign trail. Will you just really hone in on how they voted in the past?
Well, I am. I'm going to be doing that. What he wants. If you look at his record with no walls, no security, let everybody in, he's worse than they are. You know, nobody knew how radical left she was, but he's a smarter version of her. If you want to know the truth, he's probably about the same as Bernie Sanders. He's probably more so than Bernie Sanders. She is more so than Bernie Sanders.
Don't compare people to Bernie. Don't compare people to Bernie Sanders, you stupid motherfucker. That's like one of the only people in the Senate who people who don't live in his district actually like. Yeah, the open border. Like, what is with Canada?
Kill me just fucking sitting there on the couch looking like a T-1000.
Sanders, that's got to be your guide, Bernie Sanders, and that's not a great guide. But there's never been a ticket like this. This is a ticket that would want this country to go communist immediately, if not sooner. We want no security. We want no
yesterday. Did you know you've been a communist this whole time?
Just the people in the chat have been.
Just the chat.
And he's not where the country is on anything.
Mr. President,
this is a shocking. Let me tell you, this is a shocking pick, and I think it's very insulting to Jewish people, and I think it's very insulting to people that want security. I think it's very insulting to anything having to do with making America great again.
Yeah, the shit, they look so stupid, right? They're so weird. I'm so glad that caught on because it's like such a simple thing, but the idea that they're weird catching on is like, I think it's like really effective.
It's like it's about fucking time because we've been saying that for like fucking 10 years.
Ooh, speaking of weird, guess who we have next? Yeah, fucking Stephen Miller. My favorite Stephen Miller moment, by the way, that we ever covered on the Plex was, you remember when he put on the spray hair on that one interview? Do you remember that?
No, I don't remember that one.
That was amazing. He had the commercial where you can spray the hair on. He put that on and it looked so bad.
They use stencils.
Oh, somebody in the Bat Boy. Yeah, there's an episode of the X-Files probably about a guy that looks just like fucking Stephen Miller. Anyway, I guess Stephen Miller also doesn't like Tim Walz. But anybody noticing a theme on the podcast tonight? Anybody noticing a theme?
This man is a moron, he is an incompetent, he is a radical, and he is going to turn the entire Midwest into a third world state. This is a disaster for America. We have to beat this guy, and we have to beat Harris in November.
Wow.
About 14 seconds is about the limit for that guy. I mean, just all the ghouls have come out. Like, everybody that you don't like is just saying the craziest things about this fucking this moderate Democrat. This guy had like Jessica Tarlov was saying, all of them. He had the 7th most like conservative, and I think that just means like moderate, right? Voting record.
I'm fucking freaking out. It's hysterical.
I don't know how this guy. I don't know how this guy right here still has a house with a staircase like that.
Like that's got to be one of them Zoom backgrounds, right? That you like.
Or
you superimpose in when you're actually in your garage or storage unit or whatever.
Yeah, I have no idea. But anyway, here's Mike Pillow. We've generally relegated him to only red light, but there isn't really a red light docket tonight, so everything's fair game for the pod. Here's Mike Pillow, also not a fan, I guess, of Tim Walz.
And plus, he's just no personality. So, I mean, it's not like he's going to be out there having the charisma to lie his way through this of what he's done to our great state of Minnesota. We have so many things that I could tell you about. Like, here's another thing. When we were in the China virus, when here comes the China virus, what does he do? We were eating out in snowbanks, Joe. We were eating in snowbanks out of restaurants. So, you quick had to eat before your food got cold because you couldn't eat inside, right? And then...
Oh, yeah, the outdoor dining. They did outdoor dining. Apparently that was just in snowbanks.
I think one of my favorite things was whenever he was talking about whenever Trump recently was talking about the riots and they burned down the thing and he wouldn't call in the National Guard and I had to force the National Guard in, and then the next thing is a clip of Trump back then calling and talking to him on the phone and being, I really like how you handled this. I think you did a perfect job. And you called in the kids. It's so fucking funny. It's fucking great.
So up next, we're done with our Tim Walz segment, but this is Brian Kilmeade. Here's Brian Kilmeade.
T1000.
He's like, stop calling me weird, or stop calling people weird. But Brian Kilmeade's weird. He's super weird. I think he's probably the dumbest person on Fox News.
You know what? Also, I could think a couple of things. Stop calling people weird. Number one, in America, we're supposed to embrace everyone's has their own little idiosyncrasies. You keep on saying weird as if it's this great thing to describe the other ticket, and saying things about J.D. Vance. He's wearing eyeliner. That's the way he looks. Okay, that's his. He doesn't wear an eyeliner. Number one. Number two, why are you calling people weird while you stand on stage with people talking about transgender care and the need to?
I thought we all have our little things, and we need to be able to express ourselves. And if that's weird, then we just need to let people. How can you fucking 2.5 seconds later contradict yourself trying to fucking talk about don't do this, but it's fucking weirdo. I guess God hates a particular kind of weirdo.
Way to call a guy that was already president of the United States who just got 70 million votes that he's weird. Do you realize for the last time when you call those people weird?
He didn't just get 70 million votes. That was 4 years ago, bro.
Flex on the 70 million people that voted for him because obviously they're weird. Can we stop the names?
A bunch of those probably died of COVID.
So let him keep calling it. I mean, it makes him look bad. Let him keep doing it.
Yeah, it's his catchpatch. He invented it.
Are they going to let the guy that they're having do an on-the-ground report say anything?
No. Why would they do that?
Somebody's barking. The producer's barking in their ears, going, please give this to your guest. Give it to your guest.
He's going to keep using it.
Sloppy Steve. Yeah, see, look.
The White House quite a bit. It was one of those things. That's why Sloppy Steve is now looking for a job.
But this poor, pathetic, low-energy guy, he gets up and he does a commercial that Hillary. So I'm looking at little Marco and I say, man, there's something happening with him. And he's melting. Little rocket man, rocket fuel for the Americans. We will have no choice but to totally destroy North Korea. Rocket Man is on a suicide mission for himself.
Fuck, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's weird too, because then he went over there and said, "Oh, this is a great guy. I had a good time meeting fucking Kim Jong." Remember that? After all that,
lovely love letters from him. Love letters. They're beautiful, perfect letters.
So they're don't call us weird, but as you know, I am actually a fairly decent producer of the kind of show that we do. So this is courtesy of Right Wing Watch from this very week. But whatever you do, don't call them weird. Oh man, wonderful website they got over there at Twitter.
I want you to talk about, are you encouraged or discouraged about where America is right now?
Well, it's a mixed bag, Gene, because I believe very clearly the Spirit of the Lord is making a way for the body of Christ to go through in this time. And, even with guys like Tim Walz, and you're looking at what's going on, people say he's, Midwestern folksy. I have another word for him, being from Minnesota myself. And it's Satan. The guy's just weird. You see the way he hugs his wife. You see the way he does everything. I believe the Spirit of the Lord is letting them overextend their reach. I believe he's giving them a sense of confidence that's actually going to be a surprise.
Wow, that's amazing.
Narrative. I believe the Spirit of the Lord is going to bring victory and breakthrough. And, it's interesting how the spirit of Antichrist just loves to pick these people that fit right in with the wicked overlord lizard mafia. Really driven by their goblin.
But folks don't call them weird.
Masters. And when you're looking at this, I believe that's exactly what we're facing right now. A spirit of Antichrist that wants to have its way.
Yeah, don't call us weird, but also some of our people that are that run in our circles literally go on to what's not maybe super mainstream, right? But it's not like they went on Alex Jones and talked about the lizard people.
He looks like he's staring into the sun when he's talking.
He might be.
It's the spirit of the Lord. It's too bright for him to look at. So
up next we got Neil Cavuto, talking about the economy and the Democrats and the Republicans. It's going to be totally normal. Oh, totally going to work too. Let's try this again. Oh, there we go. Anybody on the pod listening, this is in fact live.
Mike, I know you do not politicize these things, but the Donald Trump thing in the market amazes me. When they're up, it's all because of him and looking forward to him. When they're down, it's all because the Democrats and how horrific they are. Yet some of our biggest point fall-offs, 3 of the biggest of the top 10, occurred during his administration. Now, a lot of those were in the COVID years. I get that. But, you either own the markets or you don't. It does confuse me, but thank you.
Oh shit! He was actually saying something reasonable. He's like, why is it every time the markets go down that y'all are saying it's the Democrats, and then when the markets are good, it's because people think Trump might get elected. But then the market falls. The big ones were under Trump. Not bad there, Mr. Cavuto. Also, he looking pretty sharp. It looks like he might have dropped like 50, 60 pounds or something.
Yeah.
He might be on that weird fucking diabetes drug that they're all using to lose weight, though.
Ozempic.
Yeah. That's not great for people with diabetes. I'm probably going to end up doing an intellectual Dollar Tree about that fairly soon. So here's this is from the Lance Wall News Show, and you remember that 2000 Mules movie?
Yeah.
Dinesh D'Souza, the True the Vote organization, has a plan for the 2024 election, and this woman who is definitely staring several thousand yards beyond where the camera is going to tell you all about it.
She's looking directly at me, and I am uncomfortable.
Yes, things have gotten better. We've seen states that have tightened up on their distribution of mail-in ballots. We've seen states that have rolled back on many of the things they introduced during the pandemic that created such an environment of chaos in the 2020 election. But you then see states like Wisconsin, where up until 2023, the Supreme Court had made the decision that there would be no more drop boxes in that state. Then the Supreme Court makeup was changed. It went from conservative to liberal. And just a month or so ago, that Supreme Court reopened the case that determined the unconstitutionality of ballot drop boxes, made a new decision.
Well, that's stupid that having a place to drop off your ballot is unconstitutional. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, actually.
Like, the people in Shasta are like, we want to get rid of all the drop boxes.
Right. So, like, lest the entire state becomes Shasta County, the new Supreme Court is like, oh, we should take another look at this, because this is like just a metal box where people drop off their ballot. It doesn't seem like the Constitution has much to say about this at all. That's what I'm guessing.
And said that now that they will be used. And so what you're seeing in Wisconsin as we speak is the installation of over 500 new ballot drop boxes across the state.
Oh my gosh, in Wisconsin. Swing state of Wisconsin.
That's right.
And I'll get in trouble for this, but we got to have people watching these drop boxes. I don't want to have another election where the camera's down. I want Dinesh D'Souza at every drop box with a camera.
Ooh, I think we should chop him up into enough pieces that he can be at every drop box.
Crew. And I want to see what
this Dropbox is officially guarded by a piece of Dinesh D'Souza.
Multiple ballot drops. But how frustrating is that? And that comes because of a Supreme Court.
Because of the Americans with Disabilities Act, where you need to be able to provide equal access for people who maybe unable to access a polling place.
Out after having provided, we did that huge geospatial project where we were looking at drop boxes and geofenced around the drop boxes and then measured the number of times that a mobile device went to the drop box. And
this is ridiculous. So we looked into this. I looked into, like, you know how, like, if you're in a city, right, sometimes your GPS is off by hundreds of feet. And so we kind of looked at just the locations of drop boxes in Campbell. And so you could be like on the light rail, and if, let's say, every day you go to and from work on the light rail, well, there were just in Campbell, there were 2 or 3 drop boxes that this thing could likely say that you went to, even though you were just sitting there on the train, I don't know, fucking mean posting on Twitter or whatever. So that this is dumb because your phone, it's the location service is accurate enough to give you directions and stuff, but it isn't down to like 5 feet or whatever.
Right.
And then that became the subject matter for what Dinesh turned into 2000 Mules. But with that sort of as a backdrop, we are very familiar with the problems of ballot drop boxes. And in states like Michigan and Wisconsin, one of the many tragedies was that they told their citizens that they would monitor those drop boxes, that they would have surveillance cameras on them, and they did not. And so we know that now. We know that the cameras are not to be relied upon. The belief that this would be monitored in any way is frankly not to be believed. And so what we are doing at True the Vote is taking it an extra step and working with sheriffs to identify areas that sheriffs would be willing to allow us to grant them camera equipment that then they can monitor and we can live stream. It's our opinion that making this transparent is the best way to alleviate the anxiety that comes from knowing that those drop boxes are just open to anything that people want to shove into them. And so making
that's what she said.
Taking it public is the way that we hope, in one of many ways that we hope to push back this general election cycle.
All right. Now, listen, folks, that's a mouthful, but I want you to hear what we just discussed. There will be cheating. The drop boxes is where they're going to put fake votes. They're going to do multiple votes. They're going to drop wads of votes. If what we've seen before.
How?
In the swing states of Michigan and Wisconsin, then we got Pennsylvania and Georgia and Arizona. We know where the states are that we got to work in. We're going to have to go to True the Vote right now. You got to go there and you got to support these people. This is how you do it. If you're in Michigan or if you're in Wisconsin, especially, you need to fund the camera operation. Do you have camera? Do you have any sheriffs working with you in Wisconsin too?
Yes, we have 3 very influential sheriffs, and we look forward to more. We're getting there next week to do a site assessment. But we have the plans in place. We learned a lot from the project we undertook in 2020. And are a little wiser and a whole lot older, but we're going to get it done in a whole new way. And we look so forward to live streaming it. I just think that's essential. People need to see what's really happening.
Good. Put your crimes on camera.
So I really wonder, like, if they're going to set up all these cameras on all these drop boxes, where the fuck are they going to live stream? Is it going to be like that woke channel? Like, remember during the protests, how it was just like fucking like 9 or 12, like different.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, like, where are they going to live stream this? Are they going to try to
YouTube, Rumble?
That's a lot. I mean, that's a lot of, like, not just like cameras or whatever. That's like a lot of channels, and like a lot of, they're going to need like some kind of computer device, some kind of network connection.
Dave. They're lying. They're not going to do any of that stuff.
So
they're just saying that they're going to do that stuff. They're not going to do any of that.
The other possibility is they're going to raise the money and tell you that they did it, and just
and just take the money
and
donate it to Trump
or to themselves.
Part of it will go to Trump.
Dinesh D'Souza. Fun fact about the 2000 Mules movie: the production company that helped them make it now denounces the movie.
Did they take it off Amazon or something?
Yeah. Amazon didn't take it down. Like the distribution like network that they were using for it took it down. Yeah, and somebody in chat just said like a lot of the drop boxes are like right next to the fucking police station anyway. So it's like there's like a really dumb set of talking points. Here we go. Here's a fun one from all places. Somebody on Newsmax just kind of stuck it to one of Trump's like representatives here. Check this out. Trump is not afraid of anything. Won't back down.
And he will never back down from the hostile fake news media. He's not afraid.
But why won't former President Trump debate on ABC News, the one he committed to with Biden? Harris said she'd show up to that one. Do you have an answer for that? Does he have an answer for that?
Yes, we do. Well, first of all, that debate was committed between President Trump and Joe Biden. The race has changed. And also,
he won't back down, except from the liberal media. Well, the dude was like, well, the liberal media, ABC, has a debate scheduled for Donald Trump. And he doesn't want to shoot. He's like, oh, well, it changed.
And I won't back down.
So I don't know if you know about this. You'd be more likely to know about this than I guess other people. But Trump claimed that he got into like a helicopter crash with Willie Brown.
I saw this on Justin's stream earlier. It was really funny.
So there's two clips here of Willie Brown fucking responding to this claim. Here's the first one. This is amazing. I like Willie Brown, by the way. He used to be at raves. Instead of the mayor shutting the raves down, this mayor went to them. Mm-hmm. Cutting even a little bit of old man, but doing a pretty cool old man dance at the rave.
That's just fine.
Anyway, here's him responding to the claim that him and Donald Trump were in a fucking helicopter accident.
Just to clear things up, have you ever been in a helicopter that made an emergency landing with Donald Trump?
No.
Have you ever been in a helicopter with Donald Trump?
No.
He is apparently tonight getting angry about all of this, calling the New York Times and berating them for their story on this, claiming, he says, we have the flight records of the helicopter, and apparently said the helicopter landed in a field. You have no memory of anything like that ever happening?
No.
What could he possibly...
It was another guy.
I have no idea.
It was another guy. It was a dude from LA.
Right. There's more of this though. I mean, it just him. No. No. And then I have no idea.
It's so fucking ridiculous. Like, what are you gonna say?
No, I'm so glad that instead of like trying to like fucking pontificate or whatever, he's like, no. Here's more. Maybe he'll say more than 5 words in this one, but I hope not. I hope he just continues to just give 1-word answers.
Another thing that Donald Trump said at this news conference was that you had said derogatory things about Vice President Kamala Harris to him in conversation. Have you ever had a conversation like that with Donald Trump?
No, I have not. Anybody else?
It sounds like, at least according to you, this entire story, including the helicopter, the near emergency landing, and the conversation about now Vice President Kamala Harris, it just never happened.
Never happened. Period.
Just fucking straight to the point.
Yeah, never happened.
Love it. Love just quick. Just no, never happened. No. Great. Fucking great.
No.
So I guess Trump is going to lower everyone's rent, which is news to me because he's a slumlord. Here's from a
seriously.
here's from a Trump rally in South Dakota where
Trump Vermin Supreme.
It's not Vermin Supreme. Here's from a Trump rally in South Dakota where this is on Fox News, where the Fox News person is asking this guy why he likes Trump, and apparently this guy's kids are having a hard time paying rent. And my understanding is that what he's going to say about getting the rent down doesn't make any sense. If
you don't say,
what are you
never expect that at a Trump rally?
The rent and things like that in the economy, because out of 8 children that I'm a father and a stepfather to, 5 of them are struggling, and I'm giving them part of my income on a regular basis. How are you going to make the economy not just the the food and electricity, but bring down the rent prices, the housing prices, so that these kids can survive without their parents' help.
Such a good question, Mr. Sturgis. How about sell your $100,000 motorcycle?
And I tell you, first of all, I love the people that you're with. I know that I must have at least 99, perhaps 100% of all of them, and I think they're incredible. We are going to drill, baby, drill. We're going to bring down the cost of energy. Energy is what caused the worst inflation, I think, in the history of our country. Food prices are up 50%, sometimes more. You look at bacon. Bacon is quadrupled. You can't order bacon. You can't order anything. We're living horribly. We have the worst inflation we've probably ever had in our country. And it started because of energy. We're going to drill, baby, drill. And then we're going to have China and all of these countries that were treating us good when I was there toward that. I mean, it took me a long time to get them to behave properly. All of these countries are going to, again, stop. Like 4 years ago, I could ask you. You were in great shape. You had low energy costs. You had low food costs. Everything was good. You could buy a house. You had low interest rates, 2% interest rates. You had gasoline at $1.87. Now it's $5. And by the way, going up very substantially. But you had gasoline at $1.87 a gallon. Nobody talks about that anymore. Nobody even can believe it's going to happen. It's going to happen again. We've got to get the energy prices down, and everything else is going to be tumbling down with it, the prices.
So one of the things they do is they'll like compare gas prices in like rural or like less dense suburban areas to like San Jose or San Francisco or Los Angeles, right? They'll use the lowest that they could find. Also, not for nothing, I've saw $6 gas recently, so
it's about $4.30 out here.
So the other thing is like, I don't think that was the guy's question, right? The guy had like legitimate concerns about the cost of living for his kids, and the president was like, "We're gonna drill, baby, drill," like he's Sarah Palin in 2008. Like,
more oil fixes all the problems.
Here's more of the former guy. This one's real quick. This is just about he is certainly disconnected from reality. He thinks that well, here's the percentage of people in this country that he thinks make up the base of his voters.
In terms of the country and in terms of unifying the country, bringing it back, to have taken her and to have put her in jail, and I think you know the things as well as I do. There were some pretty bad acts that she did. I think it would have been very bad for our country and a lot of my people, a lot of the MAGA, as they call them, but the base. And I think the base is 75% of the country, far beyond the Republican Party.
What? 75% of the country.
What?
Huh? Like 1 in 10 Americans lives in California, and this guy's going to lose 2-1 in California. So that like you just like. No, that means almost the whole rest of the fucking country.
I don't understand what the big deal about press conferences is right now either.
I love them.
What's the big? I mean, I do too, but it's not for the same reason that they are saying they would like press conferences.
Donald Trump has lost little Nikki Fuentes.
Oh God, this fucker! I haven't seen this guy since I don't even know how long it's been now. The streak is ruined.
Declaring a new Groyper war against the Trump campaign until we can figure out what the hell is going on. I'm declaring a new Groyper war. You have alienated us. You have ignored us. You don't listen to our concerns. We have been left behind. The Trump movement,
as you should,
and the GOP have moved on without us. It serves Israel and corporations and immigrants, but it doesn't serve Native Americans. What about Native Americans?
Sir, that doesn't mean what you think it means.
Americans. What about young white men and others too?
Others too.
Charlie Kirk is to the right of Trump on immigration. That's unacceptable. So I think it's time for another Groyper war. We're bigger, better, stronger than ever. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Rumble. This is a big live stream every night. We have allies, so I think it's time to up the ante a little bit. Joker 2 is premiering in October.
Oh, Lord.
Joker 2? 5-year anniversary. The show is back. We're opening the chest. I think it's time for Groyper War 2. And this time, we're going all out.
Electric Boogaloo.
Just once. And we will bring the energy. It's just a question of whether they want to get on board or get out of the way. That's the question. But
It's like when Lee Iacocca said, lead follower, get out of the way.
Can the Blue Fairy come back? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
And then Lee Iacocca's Chrysler Corporation started to crumble. So not a great thing, actually.
Can the Blue Fairy come back and turn him back into a wooden boy?
I don't know. I think you should go back to like having awkward dates with Catboy Cammy.
We will bring, the Groypers will bring the energy. Memes, edits, replies, trolls.
He plays an invisible accordion too.
Yeah, and he also is forgetting like blocking a lot of people, because that's what these people do. They block a lot of people.
Well, that's how you get your ideas across, obviously, is by limiting the amount of people that can see them.
Groyper War 2 coming soon.
After Joker 2.
War. I'm done. I'm done playing around. I'm done sitting on the sidelines and complaining. Are you happy?
He has to declare a Groyper War because he can't move his thumbs.
Blamed and accused. Complaining about how it's not going well. I'm going to use my leverage. I'm going to do something about it. We have power. We have Groyper power.
What does that even mean?
And this is about to become the Groyper election.
Oh, I'm sorry, Omaha.
I think this is great. This is great. This is great. That
I mean, if he's having a meltdown and declaring an invisible war with his war accordion, then that's fine, I suppose. He can go ahead and declare war in his little office and bust out his little plastic soldiers and flick them off the desk with a ruler. I don't know.
I forgot that Dennis Quaid exists. Here he is on the Piers Morgan show.
How he stood up for us overseas, and what China and
China,
the way he responded to China, he stands up to people, and that's what makes him a leader, rather than what I kind of compare it to what was going on in Jimmy Carter's administration, where we're trying to be everybody's friend and pal, and there's some evil people.
Keep Jimmy Carter's name out your mouth.
Bad actors in this world. And so, people might call him an asshole, but he's my asshole.
Oh, he might be an asshole, but he's our asshole. That's pretty original.
That's so very 2016.
Maybe even like 1990s. Man, this news week was kind of slow. Here's more Waters. He's being
Waters back. Waters.
He's being a little, more weird than normal. More weird than he usually is I guess kind of what's going on here. They're talking about white dudes for Kamala, and there's a black guy on the panel. So of course Jesse Waters has to do the fucking weirdest shit possible. Watch this.
I got white dudes for Harris right here, and I'm not going to put it on for one reason, I don't want to mess up my hair, but two, I'm not for Harris, so I'm going to give it to you. A white dude for Harris. You are white, right? You're white. Are you half?
I'll give it to my father-in-law.
Okay. You wear that. You wear that, Harold. I give this as a gift.
Thank you.
And you put it on your beautiful head.
I appreciate that. Red, white,
you
and
won't
blue.
wear it, so you're not a Harris supporter.
I am.
You're not going to mess up your hair. Look at it.
I'm a huge.
Come on, Harold. Put the hat on.
That's so horrible.
Waters seems to have a hard time understanding the meaning of the word no.
Also, that's just a light-skinned black dude. He's not going to wear the white dudes for Harris hat. I don't know. I think in a normal job, we would call that creating a hostile work environment.
Yeah, right.
I think that's what we'd call that in a normal place of employment. Here is the fucking Twitter CEO, Linda Yaccarino, who fucking, I guess, is a human being. I'm not sure. Check this out. I heard that. Listen, I didn't listen to this, but I saw a lot of people quote tweeting it, and people were saying that this is fucking weird. So let's see what this is about.
Hey, everybody. I was shocked by the evidence uncovered by the House Judiciary Committee that a group of companies organized a systematic illegal boycott against X. It is just wrong, and that is why we are taking action. Today, we filed an antitrust lawsuit against the Global Alliance for Responsible Media, 4 of its key members, and the World Federation of Advertisers. These organizations targeted our company and you, our users. The evidence and facts are on our side. They conspired to boycott X, which threatens our ability to thrive in the future. That puts your global town square, the one place that you can express yourself freely and openly, at long-term risk.
Like to beg to differ.
Are hurt when the marketplace of ideas is constricted. No small group of people should be able to monopolize what gets monetized. This group is no match for the power of our users. All of you, the very same users that have driven usage of X to all-time highs. I joined X because I believe in the power of the global town square. It's users like you, people of all backgrounds and opinions, who make X indispensable. You deserve an open platform where your views can be expressed without restriction and without fear. To all of you who have been part of this transformative journey that we're on, thank you. Rest assured, X has never been more committed to innovating and expanding all of our global town square.
So I'm not sure that the courts are going to be able to force somebody to run an ad on a website.
Well, you also can't force AI to testify, right? Because she doesn't look like a real person.
Yeah. The
also,
thing is,
since Twitter's become X, you've definitely had your free speech fucking curtailed several times.
So that's not so much. I mean, like, the thing is, like, they're literally trying to sue people for not wanting to advertise. Like, I'm going to sue everybody for not advertising on my show and my website now. I mean, like, what the fuck? Like, like, a lot of companies, they're represented by advertising agencies, but the companies are probably a lot of what's behind the ad agencies pulling ads, right? If you represent like, I don't know, Jeep and Revlon and fucking, I don't know, like, you know, like a bunch of legacy brands, right? And like most of those legacy brands don't want to have their advertisements on Twitter, then you might just pull all your ads from Twitter because most of your clients don't want to be there anyway. And it's not worth your fucking time to deal with those fucking weirdos. Mm-hmm. And that's just the way it goes. You don't have a right to have somebody pay for your product. Like, and that's, you know, tough shit. Like, and one of the things that Twitter has done recently is you used to just like, every time I was seeing an ad now, I'd just block whoever was advertising on Twitter. And now they made it real hard to do that. Now you have to like go to the profile and then block them. You can't just block them right from the ad. So
boo.
But I don't think they're going to get anywhere with this. I think it's going to get thrown out because there's no like merit to the lawsuit. There's no merit to the lawsuit. Did you know RFK Jr. is still running for president, kind of?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Did you know that he, I guess, went to Roseanne's house to eat food and recorded it?
Did they like lick their hands, then touch doorknobs, and they both licked the doorknobs?
Well, some story, I guess. He told a story here, I guess, about dumping a bear in Central Park, New York. And I don't mean like a hairy man that he just got tired of dating.
Was it mutual? Did he break its heart?
This is going to be
Was his heart broken?
This is going to be fucking weird.
I was taking a group of people falconing up in Goshen, New York, up in the Hudson Valley. And I was supposed to meet them there at like maybe 8 or 9. I was driving up maybe, really early, like 7. And that woman in a van in front of me hit a bear and killed it, a young bear. So I pulled over and I picked up the bear and put him in the back of my van because I was going to skin the bear. And it was very good condition, and I was going to put the meat in my refrigerator. And you can do that in New York State. You can get a bear tag for a roadkill bear. And so then we went hawking, and I had the bear in my car. And then we had a really good day, and we went late. We were catching a lot of game, and the people really loved it, so we just stayed late. And instead of going back to my home in Westchester, I had to go right to the city because there was a dinner at Peter Luger's Steakhouse. And at the end of the dinner, it went late.
It was like,
I couldn't go home.
I can't justify eating roadkill bear when I just ate at Peter Luger's Steakhouse.
And the bear was in my car, and I didn't want to leave the bear in the car.
Because what if it came back to life? It was a zombie bear.
So then I thought, at that time, this was the little bit of the redneck in me. There'd been a series of bicycle accidents in New York. They had just put in the bike lanes, and saw a couple of people that got killed, and it was every day, and people had gotten badly injured.
If I have a bear in my back of my car, I won't have the room for the human roadkill that'll get that's
like even Roseanne is like, what the fuck?
She looks like the nurse that's taking care of him. It's gonna be like, all right, Grandpa, time to go back to the home.
And so I thought, I wasn't drinking, of course, but people were drinking with me who thought this was a good idea. And I said, I had an old bike in my car that somebody asked me to get rid of it. I said, let's go put the bear in Central Park and we'll make it look like he got hit by a bike. It'll be funny for people.
What?
So everybody thought that's a great idea. So we went and did that, and we thought it would be amusing for whoever found it or something.
What? But if you find like an old rusted bike and like a bear carcass, you don't immediately think, oh shit, the bike must have run over the bear.
You don't fucking cause a panic making people think that there's bears in New York City on fucking Central Park and Fifth Avenue.
The next day, it was like, it was on every television station. It was the front page of every paper, and I turned on the TV, and there was like a mile of yellow tape, and there were 20 cop cars. There were helicopters flying over it. And I was like, oh my God, what did I do? And then there were some people on TV in tie-back suits with gloves on lifting up the bike, and they're saying they're going to take this up to Albany to get a fingerprinted. And I was worried because my prints were all over that bike. Luckily, the story died.
Just some fucking shenanigans. What's what you expect from the Kennedys?
Dead for a decade, and the New Yorker somehow found out about it, and they're going to do a big article on me, and that's one of the articles. So they asked me, the fact checker said, it's going to be
the fucking size of those ribs.
I think it's great.
Bear ribs. Oh my God. So everything about that,
ribs, they have bear ribs.
So a person, first of all, I think he probably ran over the fucking bear. I don't know, obviously, but I think he probably ran over the bear. But also, like, if you see somebody else hit an animal, if it's just on the side of the road and it's dead, you can just leave it there, friend. You don't got to take it with you.
That's a thing, though. It's a thing on the East Coast and out in that area. People get fucking specialized tags for picking up roadkill. I fucking shit you not.
Right. No, I understand. But like if he had like a fucking important dinner and had like shit to do over at fucking Martha's Vineyard or whatever, you'd think that maybe you could just leave the fucking bear there because you got shit to do today.
Well, what are you going to fucking leave in Central Park with an old rusty bicycle if you don't pick up the bear?
And like just the idea that you would dump the carcass in Central Park in New York is so bizarre.
So bizarre.
And like thinking that people would think that it was a bicycling accident. Like what? Like
are they gonna check the bear's stomach for the bicyclist to hit him with the fucking bicycle?
Just that story.
Who pays for the autopsy? It's the taxpayers. That's who.
That story just doesn't make any sense. I don't know why he told this. I don't know.
Because he's trying to be funny in front of Roseanne.
Well, that was
a camera.
That was his fucking. That's a big mistake. You don't got to be funny to be funnier than Roseanne. So usually this would go into red light, but it's a bit of a slow news week this week, and we're gonna just kind of have a little more of a loose kind of hangout afterwards. So this is Madison Star Moon is back posting. I got this, I believe Curiouser sent this to me on Facebook, and so here's her pointing her phone at the sky. You surprised?
No.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Madison Star Moon with the super duper creepy weird sky. Okay, first of all, look at this line that's just glowing. That's the base of the chem cover.
Chem blanket.
Okay, but I want you to see these clouds. Look how gross and weird. See
Those are called mammatus clouds.
Give it justice to just how weird this sky is. Chem blobs.
Chem blobs, that's a new one.
You can see right here. Oh, God, look at this. It looks like it's radioactive. You can see the chemtrails right here. The glowing chemtrails. See, that's the.
You could just clean the lens of your camera and they won't be so smeary.
Chem blob. Ooh. Oh God.
Oh God.
We're all gonna die. Sorry. We are though. You know it. I know it. I mean, we've done everything that we could possibly do to inform people, but and this is one of the many ways we're gonna die. This isn't the only way.
Some pretty good drops right there. Not gonna lie.
Sorry to be so depressing. I'll stop talking about dying. Look at that. Yikes. I want to turn my phone, then it really glows. Woo! All right, y'all. All right, I'm done freaking myself out. That's my post for now. I just had to show you our Chem Nasty freaked out sky.
Chem Nasty freaked out sky. All right, Madison. You were much more interesting at episode 1 of the Plex versus episode 400, let me tell you.
Won't even call us.
I won't even talk to us anymore. I know. Well, we're going to go ahead and give this one out as a freebie, by the way, for anybody. So if you're listening on the podcast, you can go ahead and grab this for free at patreon.com/echoplex or at eplex.store. You'll be able to just grab it, download it, get the audio, get the video, whatever. It's been episode 400. I don't know. It was a bit of a slow news week, mostly about Tim Walz. But watching these people freak out is always fun. So we're going to be back.
It's the best right now.
We're going to be back with Red Light. We'll take some phone calls if people are interested in calling the show. That's 415-903-PLEX. The number will be up on the screen. I'll also take remote ins via Discord. We'll maybe do some trips down memory lane. Check out, maybe we'll check out the first few minutes of the very first episode of the Plex and see what that shit was like.
Wow.
Check out I remember that clip of about soaking. That was pretty good. We'll check out the clip about soaking. And all in all, we'll just try to have some fun during the post game. As always, close out the show. This is Boomers by Periscope, and we'll be back with Red Light. See everybody on the flip side.